Next, we are going to study type of arguments. There are 4 types of arguments in Python. First one, it's known as positional arguments. Second one is called default arguments. Third one, keyword arguments. And at last, we are having variable length arguments. First one, we are going to say it is positional arguments. They are the arguments which are passed in correct positional order. In the screenshot, you can see a function definition called char, which is having two formal parameters x and y. In the function definition, x is calculated as x plus 2 and y is calculated as y into 10. Within the function definition itself, these values are printed using print statement. In the fifth line, function calling statement is written char within bracket 5, 3. So you know that 5 is going to x and 3 is going to y. So you are going to get the output 7 and 30. It means that 7 is the value of x and 30 is the value of y. Suppose if we are going to change the value 5 and 3 as 3 and 5, then the output will be different. It means that Python is taking the first value is given to the first formal parameter and the second one is given to the second formal parameter. Suppose in this particular function calling statement, if you are not supplying any argument, it will lead into an error situation. So the position must be matched to get the correct output. If the positions are mismatched, it will lead into incorrect output. If number of arguments are changed, also it will lead into error. So in this particular situation, if you are not giving 2 arguments, it will lead into an error situation. Second one, we are going to see it is default arguments. Default values can be provided to positional arguments. In the screenshot, you can see an increment function definition named as incre, which is having a single formal parameter named as a with a default value 5. In that particular function definition, a plus 1 will be calculated and it will be get printed. So it's going to become 6. In that particular program, twice that incre function is called, one without arguments, one with a single argument. The first one, it will give you the output 6 because it is missing its actual argument. So that it will take the value 5 for A and it will print the output 6. Whereas in the second calling statement, a 7 is provided, which is going to become the new value of A in the function definition. It will print the output 8. Remember 3 major points. Default values will be always evaluated only once at the point of function definition. Default values, whenever you are giving, it must be a constant. Whichever might be the argument having a default value, that argument we are calling it as default argument. Next, we are going to see how can you give default arguments to the formal parameters. In the screenshot, you can see an incre function with 2 formal parameters. One is A, another one is B. A is having a default value 5, but B is not having default value. It is illegal according to the Python rule. Whenever you are writing a function with default arguments, always remember non-default argument must be written before default argument. So the above function definition can be rewritten as increment within bracket b comma a is equal to 5. Here Non-default argument is written first and the argument with the default value is written as the second one. This is valid according to the Python rule. So remember the point. All right side arguments of the default argument must also have default value. Now you are going to see how can you call function in different ways, one with default argument and one without default argument. If both are provided in single function definition, you can call that particular function in three different ways. In the script mode, an increment function is written with two formal parameters, one is x and a with the default value 5. And in that particular coding itself, thrice increment function is called. One with single value 4, another one with value 5 and 2, another one with 2 and a is equal to 3. In the first case, value 4 will be given to x and the function control, flow of control will go to the function definition for its evaluation. There it will take a's value as 5 and the output is going to calculate it as 4 plus 5, 9 will be get printed. In the next calling statement, we have called increment function with two values. One is 5, another one is 2. So 5 is going to get assigned to x and default value of a is going to override with a new value 2. So for this particular function execution, a's value is going to used as 2 instead of 5. So the output is going to get evaluated as 5 plus 2, 7 will be your output. In the third function calling statement, you are explicitly specifying the default argument name a. The first value 2 will be definitely given to x. So explicitly you are specifying the default argument a and we are providing a value 3. So for this particular function calling statement, a's value is going to be considered as 3. So the output is going to become 2 plus 3, 5. Default values of the arguments you can specify in the function header statement as I have told you earlier. Again I have written here with its syntax. First you should write def followed by function name within bracket. First formal parameter followed by an equal to its value, then the separator, then second formal parameter equal to its value, and I have closed the bracket of the function and then colon should be given. Remember the key points. Programmer is free to change the value 1 and value 2 in his program according to his requirement, but he can change only through function calling statements. So when you are going to call this particular function, you can specify two different values apart from value 1 and value 2. It will be get assigned to these variables according to your requirement. Next, you are going to see two ways of handling default arguments. Now, you are going to see how can you create default arguments. The first line of this coding, it's a multi-line comment. It's also known as docstrings. It will not have any part in the output prediction. It is just a statement like a comment. And down to that, I have written a function definition. The function name followed by two formal parameters are the one is x and a with the default value 4. And return statement is an expression x plus a into 2. See, three ways you can call this particular function. In the first method, I have given only 2. that 2 is going to x. In the second calling statement, 5 followed by comma and actual argument name I have specified here is equal to 10. That means this 10 is going to override the value 4 of a. So for this particular function, a's value will be 10 instead of default value 4, and its calculation will go according to that. The next one, it is not specifying the argument name explicitly. It is simply passing two values. It is working just like positional arguments. 5 and 3 is being supplied. So the 5 is going to x and 3 is going to a. Its result will be according to that. Now you can see the output of the three function calling statements. In the first one we have supplied a 2. That 2 is given to x. A will be 4 itself. 4 into 8 will be calculated. This 2 will be get added with that one. So the result you got it as 10 in the first one. In the second function calling statement, we have supplied 5 comma a is equal to 10. So 10 into 2, 20 will be get calculated. 5 will be added to that one. Your result is 25. In the third function calling statement, we have supplied 5 comma 3. So x is going to become 5, a is going to become 3. So 3 into 2, 6 plus 5. That means 11 is the output of the third function calling statement.